Monte Carlo, the classic exotic auto rifle from Destiny 1 that saw a return to Destiny 2 with Shadowkeep, received a catalyst this season, allowing players to finally utilize a part of the weapon that they had so desperately wanted to put to use. I grinded a lot of strikes to get this catalyst, so today I'm going to explain how to get it, what it does, some cool synergy it has with other exotics, and help you decide if it's worth your time or not. So with that being said, I'm SniperKH, and let's hop into it. Let's hop into what the catalyst does and how to get it. The catalyst drops from strikes, crucible, and gambit as I mentioned in the intro. It took me roughly 15 strikes to finally get my hands on it, which was a painful grind needless to say, but it could be less or more for you. Anyways, regarding the catalyst functionality, it makes it so that way after you reach the max number of stacks from Markov's chain, which is 5, you can hold your reload bind to swap the firing mode into the bayonet of this weapon. It's worth noting that swapping firing mode is a bit misleading for the sole purpose that even if you enable the bayonet to work, you can still shoot the Monte Carlo as normal. Regarding this new firing mode, you will have access to it until you either use the melee or until you hold your reload bind again to cancel its effect. Once you've used the melee effect, you'll need to hold your reload bind again in order to enter the bayonet mode again, assuming you killed the target you were fighting while in the bayonet mode. Something about this catalyst that I really like a lot is that if you get a kill with the bayonet, it will refresh your Markov's chain timer or will give you a full 5 stacks after a melee kill, which will allow you to re-enter the bayonet mode again. So it gives this weapon a really fun combat chain, being you get 5 Markov's chain stacks from either a melee kill or 5 rapid Monte Carlo kills, you enter the bayonet mode, and if you get a kill with the bayonet, you refresh your stacks allowing you to re-enter. Now, this sounds good and all, but how good is the bayonet? Well, it does a really surprising amount of damage, like enough to one-shot full health shielded targets and lower end content, which is absolutely insane. Because of that, I wanted to see how you could build into this thing, so I picked some of the best options to pair with this thing, so let's see what I found. I went through all of the exotic armor pieces that Destiny 2 has to offer right now for all 3 characters to see what would pair best with the Monte Carlo catalyst. For hunters, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no exotic armor pieces really worked with this catalyst. The 2 that I thought would have some synergy with the catalyst being the Foe Tracer exotic helmet and the Triton's Vice exotic gauntlets proved to not work with the catalyst, so hunters, you are out of luck. For Titans, you have 2 options, with those being the Synthesep exotic gauntlets or the Worm God's Caress. Regarding the difference between these 2, they both grant the same thing, being a bonus to melee damage. However, they both have different requirements of getting there, with one being more labor intensive than the other. If you'd like to deal as much damage as you can with this catalyst, the Worm Gods will be your best choice as they provide a whopping 275% increase to melee damage once you have maxed out your Burning Fist stacks to 5, which requires you to get 5 melee kills. If that seems like too much for you, then Syntheseps will be your best option, as it'll grant you a 200% increase to melee damage, which is lower than Worm Gods, but the requirement is a lot less to get there, as you only need to be surrounded by 3 or more enemies, which is not too much to ask for. For Warlocks, you do have 3 options that can pair with the catalyst, but I'm only going to recommend 2 since the 2 recommendations I have are the 2 that I deem to be the most effective. The 2 armor pieces you can choose from are Winter's Guile and Necrotic Grips. Winter's Guile works exactly like Worm God's Caress does in the sense that you need to build stacks of Winter Guiles perk, which is Winter's Vigil, to increase your melee damage, and once you reach 5 stacks, you will do 275% more damage with your melee, which is really fun for Monte Carlo. Now for the Necrotic Grips, these provide a different playstyle than the Winter's Guile do, in the sense that Necrotic Grips will let you have a small add clear build going on, letting you melee a target and poisoning other targets who are close to you when you got the melee kill, allowing you to clear out some rooms. It's a fun little combo to run that I could see you enjoying. So overall, do I find Monte Carlo's catalyst worth it? Honestly, yes. It's a lot of fun to run around and stab your opponents with the bayonet, and the bayonet actually does some surprising damage. While this won't be a DPS king weapon that you'll see with the upcoming Day 1 raid race, it is a fun weapon to use when you want to put down the meta weapons and pick up something new. If you have yet to grind this catalyst out, then I say you should get it and take it out for a spin. Well, that'll wrap up today's video. If you found it helpful, consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel for more Destiny 2 content dropping weekly. If you have any content you'd like to see me make, then be sure to drop them in the comments and I'll be sure to cover them. Otherwise, check out my other social media platforms for additional content that I post over there. Finally, if you really enjoy my content and want to support me even further, then consider becoming a member of the channel for a small price. With that being said, I'm SniperKH, and I'm out. Good luck with gaming.